I'm a mom, can't put this thing back in, so that's a done deal. Not going to college, I'm not going to be a rock star, but you know what I can do? I can write. So maybe I will start writing about motherhood. And maybe a mom who's sad like me can read my post and feel a little less alone. And so I started a blog, and I named it Mom Babble. I put my kid's face on it. It was really funny. I thought my parents would read it, you know, which they did for like 2 years. I mean, I'm a writer and a reasonably good storyteller, but there isn't really anything particularly special about me other than that. But 500,000 followers later, 3 book deals, a trip to Ellen, something radical happened in my little blog. And I had to kind of assess and think, like, what was it that made this happen? This is so weird. And the internet is a weird place, and sometimes it's very fluky, and it just chooses the king, and you're the king for a day. But this is consistent growth, and it's my career now. And so I've been looking back on it this week, and I thought, like, what is the common thread that made this happen? And looking back on my career as a writer and a blogger and an influencer, I have discovered that the common thread was kindness. When I started facilitating the conversations on that page with my community of like 30 parents, and then it became 100 parents, and then I freaked out and it was 10,000 parents, I only had one rule, and it was in the top of my page. It said, be kind. And I would just delete people who were jerks, you know, because I didn't have space for that vibe in my life, because I was already struggling with postpartum depression and myriad other issues. But I didn't realize at the time just how radical kindness was. Look at the world around us right now, and turn on your TV. And I don't care if you watch Fox News or CNN. Everybody's a jerk. Like, you can look at them screaming at each other, and all they want to do is sow discord. And if you look at that world, if that's a snapshot of what everyday life is in our society, then you kind of start to get an idea of why kindness is so radical and why people are drawn to it. Have y'all ever heard the statement? I'm sure you have, because I'm sure Francesca has done this already. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a silent battle.
We have not done that yet.
Well, I'm sorry if I took your thunder. That was one of my favorites. It was originally attributed to Plato, but there's some Plato, sorry. I'm a mom, and so I've got Disney on the mind, but Plato. And regardless, it's true. All of us have hurt, and some of us hide it better than others, but on a daily basis, life hurts. And I wanted to change the world by being famous and going to Thailand and saving the children and leaving the hellhole of Dothan, Alabama, and making a name for myself somewhere else. But you know what I learned? You don't actually have to travel the world to change it. In fact, you don't have to be educated. You don't have to be rock star gorgeous. You don't really even have to be charismatic. You just have to be kind. And it really is that radical. So I didn't tell you this, but the little girl growing up in Dothan, Alabama with a bad haircut was also a victim of childhood abuse. And I suffered every night in a violent home. And the children in that school couldn't possibly have known that they were bullying somebody who went home and became an emotional and physical punching bag to an awful, awful stepfather. But could somebody have been kind and changed my life? How much would that have mattered to the kid who showed up every day and had hell at school and went home every day to hell at home? Kindness is radical. In fact, I think it's the most radical thing that any of us can do. You want to change the world? Do it your way. But I'm telling you, you don't have to travel to do it. You don't have to graduate to do it. You can change the world in your community. You can change the world in your friend's life. You can change the world on Facebook or Snapchat, or I don't know if you can do that. I haven't really done it myself. But I know that today y'all are going to touch a little bit on post-traumatic growth. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, after I leave. I wanted to touch on it briefly because I do think that pain is not necessarily, I hate it, I actually really hate it when people say, you know, there's a reason for what you're going through. I don't really subscribe to that, but I do think that you can purpose your pain, right? No, I don't. I mean, I think it's like the worst possible thing to say to somebody, so just take that for what it's worth. But I do think that you can take your pain and purpose it. Like, you know, it didn't happen to you for a reason, but you can make something with it. Dog turds suck, but they can have a fertilizer, you know? So be kind for everyone you meet is fighting a silent battle. Like, how true is that? If you've had a battle this week that has made you absolutely feel like garbage or at the brink of hopelessness or sad in need of a friend, raise your hand. So there's like 100% chance that somebody you're encountering in this room or out there in the hallway or at the gas station is also going through life, which is hard on this world, just like you. All right, let me talk about Ellen because that's honestly the reason you invited me. This video is really crazy. And the journey has been like absolutely crazy. But there was really nothing unique about my video. If y'all replayed it, I don't know if you remember it or not. I literally bought somebody a ginger ale and then hugged a stranger at a gas station. That was it. And then like 80 million views and a trip to Ellen later, I'm like, what just happened? But the only thing that really happened in that video was a random act of kindness that touched people's heart. And I get messages every day. Now, I'm a mom blogger, which is like, I think, the bane of the world's existence. But, you know, I own it. It's my job now. It's fine. And I make it my job to just put out positive, kind messages of encouragement to people who are in the parenting trenches. Just like I was with my son, Benjamin, when I was hopeless and sad and thought that I would amount to nothing. I just wanted to send him a word of kindness. That was it. That was my goal. And every day, and y'all, hundreds of messages every day. I can't even read them all. It breaks my heart. Thank you for sharing your story. It made me feel less alone. Thank you for that word of encouragement that you made in the comments section. I'm going through a divorce right now. Thank you for that video you shared where you opened up about your mental illness. I have been struggling with suicidal thoughts. It made me realize that like happy people can also have dark times. Thank you for being kind. You don't realize how hungry society is for kindness until you start giving it to them. Kindness is radical. And I love being in a room actually like this. I love doing this. This is my first time, but I usually talk to moms, I'll be honest. But this is kind of cool because I can see that the world hasn't snuffed out your dreams yet, which makes me very happy. So if I'm addressing a room full of dreamers, which I hope you still are, and also knowing that you're very broken humans, and knowing that you are looking for a way to make your name and transform the world, I'm telling you this is it. You are in the right class. Whatever you learn in your math class, in your science class, you become a doctor, you become a teacher, those are going to be really cool things, but the way you're going to change the world is what you learn in here. Being kind.